Hello and welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm going to be putting together my fish tank bonsai receptacle. So the base is 20 centimeters by 40 centimeters long. I've got two side pieces of 40 centimeters by 15 centimeters high, and the small center pieces are 15 centimeters high, but the distance from there to there, so that it can accommodate for the pieces of glass that go on the side, are 15.7 centimeters. I've got 3 of those. I've got 2 side pieces which are 15 centimeters by 39.7 centimeters, so that they can fit onto the 40 centimeter base. To attach them, I'm going to be using this aquarium safe silicone, which is just a clear glass silicone. We're going to put it all together. So what I've done now is I've just taped all the glass together so that I can get an idea of what the shape's going to be like. And I'm going to take T-square and make sure that all the corners I've got a 90-degree angle on them. Next thing we're going to do is the middle divider. Check that that's all in line, and we're good to go to silicone it all together. Just putting silicone all along the base so I can put the glass on top. So now I'm going to glue in the centerpiece to divide the 2 tanks. So the distance from the one side to where I'm gluing it in is 17 centimeters. So just taking it out, once again using the glass silicone, I'm just going to be siliconing the sides and the bottom. Just take your square and make sure that you've got it level. I've got a little ice cream stick that I've just bent like that so that I can round all the corners off. Make sure that you're not going to move it, so just holding it in place and taking the excess silicone off, and then put that aside to dry. With this silicone you need to wait 72 hours for it to cure properly. Once it's cured, you can take a blade and cut off any of the silicone that's attached to the glass. Then you have to leave it for another 7 days before you can put your fish in. You have to wash it out really well 2 or 3 times, let it stand for 1 day with the water in it, and then throw the water out. So I filled the fish tank up now to see if there are any leaks before I remove all the masking tape. So far it's looking quite good, there are no leaks anywhere. So now I'm just removing the masking tape. So now I'm going to start preparing the side for the bonsai. So I'm going to be using Mars Black. I've marked off with a masking tape, which is 3 centimeter masking tape, and I've just gone around the sides, and on the inside here I'm going to paint that all black on these 3 sides. The paint's all dry now. I'm going to remove the masking tape. To make the base for the fish tank bonsai display, I've got a piece of wood here which is 3 centimeters by 3 centimeters square, and I'm cutting 2 pieces at 40 centimeters. So I'm just going to use the drop saw to cut those pieces of wood. So the next 3 pieces that I'm going to be cutting are 14.4, and they'll go one on the end, one in the middle, and one on the other side. So I've cut all the pieces of wood out and I've nailed them all together. And now what I've got is some melamine or hardboard, and the measurements are 40 centimeters for the long pieces and 21 centimeters which will go on the sides. Now I'm just going to nail those on and glue them on. And I've made the width from there to there at 4 centimeters, so I have a 1 centimeter overlip so that the tank doesn't slide. Make sure when you're gluing it on that you're gluing it so that the lip is sticking up on the same side. So my lip's on the top, so this piece will go here. So I've nailed all the sides on, and there's our little platform for the tank to go on top of. Now we get to paint it. So from the edge I've marked in 10 centimeters, and I'm just going to take a rat tail rasp and I'm just going to score out a little bit at the bottom so that the wire can go under, so that it doesn't lopsided. So as you can see, I've just made a tiny little groove there for the wire to go through. Now that the glue is all dry, I can remove the clamps and we can start painting. To paint my little piece, I'm using a combination of charcoal black and Mars black. So for the inside, I'm doing it all in the charcoal black, and on the outside I'm going to do it in the Mars black. So the inside is all painted. Just going to put that aside and wait for that to dry before I start on the outside here. I'm going to be setting up the fish tank. I just bought these plants from the dollar store, so I've got two different kinds, and what I've done is they come really long, so I've pulled these pieces off, and I've got my little air filter which I just bought off eBay, and what I've done is I've attached it inside the plant and just put a little bit of glue at the top so that you don't notice the air filter. Then I've taken some of these other plants, just cut them small and glued them together. Those are going to be placed and glued in the corner. My little foo-foos are going to be glued just in front of the doorway over here. And then I've got some of these plastic stones which I'm going to be placing on the bottom so that the light can still shine through them. I've glued everything in place now. Now I'm just going to add the rocks. So that's all the rocks in place now. Then I'll be filling it up with water and leaving it for a day before I put my fish in. The lighting for the fish pond, I've managed to find this rather cute little Christmas tree, which I've pulled the lighting mechanism out of it, and I'm going to be using that in the fish pond. It's the small little light that comes out the bottom of the Christmas tree. To set the bonsai up, I'm going to take some cling wrap and just cover the fish tank section of it so I don't drop sand in it. I've got my cling wrap over the fish tank part, and as I said before, this is not the way to plant a bonsai, but I've taken my bonsai in its pot and put it into my little container, and now I'm going to put some fake rocks that I've made around it, which is going to just slot in over. As you can see, it just slots in quite nicely, going past the tree. And now I'm going to just add the extra two pieces. So I've added the extra piece on that side and under the tree. So that's the little bonsai section of my feature. And I've got this small little bridge, which I'm just going to put on there. So the water's all in there. That's what it looks like so far. And there to test to see that everything is working. You can see the bubble is working quite nicely. The lights are working quite well. I'm very happy how the little foo-foo dogs turned out, guarding the entrance. And now it will stay like this until tomorrow when we actually put the fish in. But the lights are working beautifully. So there's the bonsai all set up, and now we've got our fish. It's been sitting in the water there for 10 minutes, and now I'm going to release it. And there's our Siamese fighting fish in its new tank. There's a little fishing mom sitting, fishing over into the tank. And as you can see, the light is working really beautifully. If you enjoyed the video or found it helpful, please give it a thumbs up. Really appreciate it if you would subscribe. And thank you so much for watching.